Pamela, we know each other for a long time. I'm very proud of that. Since 99, I say. And so I would like, I would like you to ask some question about the show here. Probably it's the first big show about your collection outside of US, right?
Okay.
And what's the origin of the show?
Well, it was an idea that the man who was our director of the Kramlich collection at the time, Avert Coleman, had with his friend Bart Rutten, the director of the Centraal Museum, and they had this idea that it would be fun to do masterworks from the Centraal collection with the works that we thought resonated, or that he thought resonated with those works from our collection. And I thought it was a really stellar idea, because I think the only way that we can see how the future is doing, and the works that really are making statements for the art world, they need to be challenged by the works of the past.
And what do you think of this dialogue?
Well, it's fascinated me, and I've been particularly intrigued by the choices that Bart has made to combine with the video works.
But for example, what is striking in the exhibition for you? What is the most achieved installation?
Well, it's hard to say, because I think he's done a number of things very, very well. And of course, the Viola crossing work, which I've seen in a number of installations from Viola's retrospectives and others, it's extremely well installed, and the colors of the work are really stunning. So I was pleased to see that they were able to bring that into its absolutely most perfect installation. And I think having that work there, which challenges the what's going on in the world today with the climate change, and the fact that fire has been so present in our life in California recently.
Of course.
In the last 5 years, we've had a lot of threats from fire, and a lot of damage. And also the water that has been used to put out the fire has also been part of the reason our water table is down, plus all the things that are going on in the rest of the world. So I think it's a very profound piece to look at in that context.
But in terms of dialogue with the old masters, what was really kind of revelation for you?
That basically the human condition is repeating itself. It seems that the problems, between people are still there, and the misunderstandings, the tensions and the anxieties, and all those things that humanity has lived with over the centuries, it's still evident in the work that's being done today.
And could you remind us about the origin of your collection? Why to dedicate yourself to video?
Well, with my husband being in Silicon Valley in the early days of venture capital, and his ambition to look for new ideas and ideas that would change our way of thinking about things, it fit very well with trying to find a way in the art world which would complement that. And so I felt that the technology was going to spawn new artwork of a different nature, and I saw fascinating things. Jack Lane and John Caldwell were new to the Museum of Modern Art, which I was a member of, and they introduced us to some fabulous art. The particular trip we took, which was influential on me, was Documenta, when we saw the work of Fischli and Weiss.
And you bought it?
And we bought it.
You began with Fischli and Weiss.
I began with Fischli and Weiss.
And you had this crazy project of a house dedicated to video and to living together.
Well, it was a wonderful coincidence. We, through the art world, met Cherise Chen, who became the wife of Christian Mouet, And the two of them, I had known her in the art world. We had traveled a little bit together, and I knew that she was interested in architecture because she and her husband were intending to build a winery in the Napa Valley. And through them, we met Jacques and Pierre, who they had chosen as their architects, and found when we were talking about art together that they were very interested in what we might have as a dream, which was a home where we could live with our art collection. And so they were agreeable to doing that for us. And so over a long period of time, we figured out what that might look like. And so we ended up with this, I think, quite stunning building that they created for us in
Herzog and de Meuron. You didn't tell us the name, in fact. And so, so what is the everyday life in a house like that?
Well, my husband loves it because it's the art space is quite separate from the living space. However, there's artwork all the way through the 3 floors of the building. Mm-hmm. And so we can have large installations, video installations that don't affect our lives actually on a daily basis, but they're there whenever we want to have guests come and have the experience of visiting those works. So that part has been a lot of fun. It's given us a really wonderful interaction with the community and with our friends. As far as the house itself, living in a glass house on the top of the 3 floors, it's a fantastic space because it's like living out of doors, but we're perfectly comfortable in whatever the season. I think my favorite time in that building is when it's raining because it's sort of like a big umbrella and you get to sit under that umbrella and enjoy the weather and it'd be perfectly
But you said my husband loved it. What about you?
I love it too.
Good. But I've been told there's videos even in the bathroom.
Yes, we have a screen in the bathroom that we can show video on, and we have one in the bedroom. We have screens all over the place.
Wow.
Wherever we can put them and wherever it's necessary for the artwork that we want to show there.
So sometimes it's a very talkative house.
Yes, it is talkative if we put it all on at once. But actually the sound is mostly contained in the proper exhibition space.
And do you keep on buying video?
We do.
Did you have recent discovery or something that you think is very important in the video field or in the movie
I'm
film?
thinking about a couple of things, but have not bought them yet. You know, I take a little while sometimes in deciding who I'm going to add to the collection. Mm-hmm. But as far as the, I guess the most recent work we bought was going backwards. We bought a Bruce Nauman recently. And we also were involved.
So one of the series shown at Pinot?
Mm-hmm. One from it's the edition work he did within that exhibition. Mm-hmm. And so we were very fortunate to be able to have one of those. The edition is called Walks In, Walks Out.
Okay, of course. Which is a reference to an old piece from the 60s, right?
Well, that and also to the contrapunto.
Contrapposto.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. I did a report about it.
I thought it was an extraordinarily fabulous show.
It was extremely subtle.
Mm-hmm.
Bon, merci beaucoup.